Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Alrighty then, what do you say we have a look at the MEGO 2018 Target exclusive Romulan? Yeah, I've been looking for this figure, and no, I didn't find it. My brother found this at one of the Targets that he frequents. And I'm glad that we have several people out looking for these things, because they're all in different areas. And what I mean by that is I have two brothers that actually are into collecting the same types of things that I collect, and they all live in different areas. They frequent different Targets. And interesting enough, what I find, they don't find. What they find, I don't find. Which is good, you know. So yeah, I'm eager to get inside this guy and have a look. What's interesting is they show you 3 captions of what's available, you know. Obviously, we know those are available because I own all of these. But I found the Gorn on my own, and the Sulu, and the Chekhov, and the Mirror set, and the Spock. But I just find it interesting that they don't showcase all of what's available in the Star Trek line. So, yeah. Anyway, what do you say we get this open and have a look? Oh, the number on this is 7,093 of 10,000. So, yeah, let's do it. We got him out of his package. And I must say, you're seeing it for the first time like I'm seeing it. I'll always promise you that I'm never going to look at this figure until you guys are back on camera with me. His clothes feel so 70s fantastic. I love his boots. He comes with a standard Star Trek plethora of accessories. He has his belt, his communicator, and his phaser. And a nice gold helmet. So yeah, let's get this helmet off. It's on there pretty tight, but I think we can get it off. Consume mass quantities. Why I say that, because when I pulled it up like so, looks like a cone head. Wow, it's on there. There we are. Let's have a good look at that. Very, very nice. Great looking helmet. And a nice sculpt. It's got some very tall, pointy ears. Great sculpt. Look at that profile. Very nice. His clothes are just amazing. And his boots. Very cool. Glad I found this one. Well, I'm glad I own it. I'm glad somebody else found it. It's been hell trying to find these things. And I got some information as to why we're all having such a difficult time locating these figures. And it's kind of, when you hear why, you say, well, that was dumb, you know. Okay, let's set him aside for now. I mean, his clothes are pretty fantastic. His clothes have got a feel about them. Maybe you can hear this. It almost feels like it was glitter glued on there. But it's not. It's actually embedded into the fabric somehow. And his hand looks like it's very conducive of holding the phaser. I'm so glad that they didn't incorporate his boots into his lower calf like they do the Enterprise figures. You know? I know that's a cost-cutting measure for any manufacturer to skimp wherever they can, but, you know, if you want to start tearing these things apart, you're limited on how much you can do with the Star Trek Enterprise figure because of the lower leg. It's got the boot built into the entire lower leg. It's one piece. But they didn't skimp on his actual belt. I was going to put him aside, but there's just too much to look at here. Let me get this actual gun belt off. They used a real piece of vinyl for his belt. Unlike the 14-inch Superman, which is still irking me, how they used a cheap piece of stretch plastic for Superman's belt. And these little 8-inch guys get such a once-over. It's amazing. Very, very nice. I mean, the highlight of these things really are the face sculpts and the outfits. Very, very nice. And in the scope of things, I will say, if you can find them, what a great deal at $12.99. It really is. You know, and I know we're all pissed off because we can't find these things. There's still quite a few out there that I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever find them on pegs. I may have to resort to eBay to buy the ones I really want. Anyway, this is actually quite tight, this helmet. So be warned that if you don't want to damage your head, don't be doing that quite often. Yeah, he will look really good with his phaser displayed in hand. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Yeah, I really like the Star Trek Adversaries. They're very sharp. Get his helmet back on there a little straighter. Very nice. The gold really pops with the silver and the black. And I like the touch that they used the brown boot instead of going with the black boot. Very cool. But that being said, if you look here, I know it's probably just a scarf, the red scarf there on the Romulan. That would have been nice had they included that too. Guess I'm asking for a lot for $12.99. But I might make my own because that is a nice touch right there. So yeah. Now, let's keep him in the shot, seeing how the review was about him while I ramble on about what I found out. Now, in Target's system, their main system where they go to distribute product, this is all about how difficult it is to find these figures. What I found out yesterday, talking extensively with a Target store manager, when I was looking for a green shirt Captain Kirk, I went to a Target over at the mall there, in Harlem and Irving Plaza, and the employee there broke out his computer, his little handheld little device there, and he was searching. He goes, I can search other stores to see if they have them. So he writes down the number of the Captain Kirk, and you know, he says, oh, you know, the Brickyard, which is another one, that's another mall, has 3 of those in stock. I said, are you sure? Can you confirm? So he makes the phone call and he confirms that they have 3 Captain Kirks in stock. So I write down the number. He writes down a number for me, and I'm supposed to go to service and actually tell them I'm looking for this number. They scan it. They said they had 3 in the store. I'm excited. I'm amped up. I said, wow, the search is over. I'm gonna buy at least 2 because I know myself and then my brother wants one. So we go back over there, and he's scanning all the figures. And he scans it, he goes, well, there's the number, and it's not Captain Kirk. it's a charmed figure. And which charmed figure it was, I don't know. And I don't care because that's not what I want. I said, I want to talk to a manager. So I'm speaking to the manager at the Brickyard Target. And he spends about a half hour with me trying to figure out what's going on. And then he starts cross-referencing figures he does not have in the store to the ones he actually has in the store. So he'd take the number off the one that's at Target.com that's unavailable to us, out of stock, and it would cross-reference with another figure hanging on his pegs. And right at that moment, he realized why he doesn't have the figures that I'm looking for, or why any other Target don't have the figures that everybody's looking for. Because distribution shows that that Target, this particular Target over here, already has 3 that have been unsold, which in fact are actually charmed figures that have been unsold. That being said, they won't get any more figures with that number shipped to them because they still have 3 on the pegs that have not sold. Why send out more product to a store that can't sell the ones they already have? However, the computer's saying they already have them. If you visually look at them, you would see, oh, well, this is a Captain Kirk. Maybe this store can sell that. Computer already knows that number is in that Brickyard system. So they're not going to get any new figures with that number, which means they're not going to get any Captain Kirk figures because the system, the computer system, already tells them, well, that has 3. It's been over there for months. Don't send any there. Send them somewhere else. That's what's going on. And it's not just the Captain Kirk number cross-referencing with a charmed figure. It was multiple figures that cross-referenced with other figures. The Gene Simmons, you figure, okay, if it's going to cross-reference, it'll probably cross-reference with the Paul Stanley figure. No. If I remember this correctly, the Gene Simmons cross-referenced with the Cheers Norm figure. And my Brickyard over here has tons of Norm figures, which starts to explain why I'm not seeing any Wave 3 figures over there. Because their system's already telling this distribution center, that Target already has tons of these. Do not pack and ship anything to that Target with that number. Which would explain why I found the Cowardly Lion at the Brickyard. Because that number did not exist in their system at that store. So they got 2 new figures with that number, which was the Cowardly Lion. And I don't know what this cross-reference with, but I'm sure the Target that they were found at did not have any of that number in stock. If that's making any sense to you. I think it's a stupid system, and I think it's maddening. I think it was lazy. I think it wasn't well thought out, and I think it's a big fail on the MEGO end of it, because Target doesn't design these packages or these SKU numbers. Not at all. They just don't do it. All they do is receive the product, scan it, and find out where they need to go. And they ship them to where they actually need to go. And they're shipping them by quantities and numbers. And unfortunately for us people out here that are collecting, if you were one of the few that actually found a Screaming Werewolf, by the way, which is on Target.com now. If you click on Target.com and you click Include Out of Stock, you'll now see the Screaming Werewolf is up on Target.com, which it wasn't before. That just appeared a couple of days ago. So, yeah. That's what's going on. Now, the only thing I could think of is if you get very lucky at Target.com and you actually get to order one and actually ship to your house. Great. You know. Or expand your searches to more Targets that are even farther away. And you can't even rely on asking a store manager or employee, can you search this number down for me? Can you search this figure down for me? Because I already know that failed. Because I was told at one Target, oh, well, your other Target over there, Brickyard, has 3 of these. Turns out those numbers, when you scan them, that's a charmed figure. So that's not even a good science. Not accurate whatsoever. So that kind of sucks, you know. So, again, I frequent 8 Targets of my own. And my brother does 4, and my other brother, he doesn't have a lot. He's a little further out in the suburbs, but he does have 3 that he goes to regularly. And with the exception of the Romulan and the Cowardly Lion, we're basically seeing all the same figures. Yet to see a 14-inch Batman. the new Wave 3. But yeah, you know, that's the one I want. And I like to have a mirror set. Oh, the mirror set for Uhura and Sulu. They have the exact same cross-reference number as the first mirror set with Kirk and Spock. Exactly the same, because I had them look into that. And unfortunately, there's 2 sitting at one target and 3 sitting at another target. And that would explain why I'm not seeing any of those new box sets. Sucks, I know. Well, it is what it is, you know. So, what do? Step up my search? I never go south. I always go west and north, you know. I could go east, but then I'd be in Lake Michigan. But my point is, if I expand my search, which is an additional 4 or 5 miles that way, maybe I get lucky. I don't know. But anyway, that's a little side note to my review of the Romulan, and I'm so happy to have him. He'll go really nice into my MEGO Star Trek collection. Yeah, so if that offers any insight to you whatsoever, that would explain a lot of the frustration out there, you know. So, hey. Anyway, that's been my look and rant about MEGO distribution at the 2018 Target exclusive Star Trek Romulan. Holla Wolf out.